9 years in a cave. Yeah. And now we can see a plane. So this one is called Mao Zedong's private plane. So in fact, it's a gift from Stalin. Mission first, and then you can go around. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the cemetery of the monks from the, just for the monks from Shaolin Temple, called Pagoda Forest. So this Pagoda Forest is the biggest one in China. And there are altogether there are 246 pagodas. Yeah. That one upstairs, that's the oldest. So it was built in the year 791 AD, 791 AD in the Tang Dynasty. But the newest one was built 3 years ago, 1995. So altogether 246 pagodas. And also, yeah, if you look carefully, you can find the height and also the size are quite different. Some are very high, some are very low. So the height are closely connected with the monks' political position and also the number of the students, because most of them were built by the disciples of a certain monk. So we mainly divided the pagodas here into three parts. So the first one are called single pagodas, one pagoda, one monk. And for example, the oldest one is a single pagoda for one monk. So before they built the body of the pagoda, they would build a crypt first. That means there should be a crypt underneath every single pagodas, just for the remains, the ashes of the monks. Yeah. I mean, three different pagodas, three different places just for storing the remains of the monks. Yeah. And most of them are single pagodas. Yeah. If a pagoda is higher, the monk underneath is more important. Yes. And the second kind are called ordinary pagodas. One pagoda for many ordinary monks. So in this pagoda forest, there are only three such pagodas. So they are quite different from the first one, because they all have opening doors in the front. This one, and this bigger one, and that smaller one. Only three left. Only three. Because in a temple, not every monks are very important. Some monks are very ordinary, very common. So they had no students, no disciples. That means after these monks dead, so no people would build pagoda for them. So that's why we can see this way, because they are all built by the temple. The temple pays money to donate money for the building, but one for many. That's why the door is opening. In some pagodas, we can see a door in the front, but that's only for decoration. It means we cannot open. The ashes will put underneath. But ordinary one, just inside is opening door. Yeah. And for example, because the small room is limited, very small. Yeah. But it's limited, maybe within 70 or 80 years, it would be filled up with the ashes of the monks. Then all the ashes would be carried out, and then a ceremony. After ceremony, all the ashes would be spread in the river. Then they can use this pagoda again. So nobody knows the precise number of the monks who buried in the ordinary pagodas, one for many. But since the end of the Qing dynasty to the Cultural Revolution, around 100 years, China was not in good order, so we don't use this pagoda any longer, because only few monks lived in the temple secretly. And since 1980, when this temple opened to the public, so we have two new ones. The first one is close to the entrance. It was built in 1990. The newest one is just over there. So later I'll show you that. So that one was built in 1995. So that one was built for the 29th generation abbot of the temple in 1995. This person, became a monk at the age of 7, and he died 86. Yeah. He is not only a very famous kung fu master in the temple, but also a very famous Chinese doctor, Chinese medicine doctor in Henan province. So he had many students both in China and also in foreign countries. So yeah, mainly we say 3 parts, 1 complete grave. But that pagoda over 3, 5 or 6 parts. Totally there are 3 tablets for 1 person. And 1 tablet was erected by the local government, and 1 just by his disciples from Taiwan. And the biggest one, just in front of the pagoda, was built by his disciples from the temple. And some disciples in the society. That means some disciples are not real monks. I don't know how to translate. Maybe for monks at home. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have very long hair, but they are really disciples of this monk, but they are not monks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first time, the second time, and then I show you the third time. So just look at the foot of the hill. You can see several smaller ones. So from the side, you can guess maybe that monk had only 1 or 2 disciples. So their disciple couldn't denote more money. That's why they did a smaller one. Yeah. Okay, now show you another one, bigger one. Special pagodas in a graveyard. So this one was carved in a Song Dynasty, 1178. In a Song Dynasty. So just now I already told you 3 different pagodas, 3 different places for storing the remains of the monks. So underneath this pagoda, no crypt, no opening door here. The ashes of this monk was buried just inside this part. Because this pagoda was carved with several pieces of stones, not one. I mean, there should be a hole on the top. So when they use, they can take this top away and put the ashes from the top. So this is a very complete pagoda. There are 3 parts, 1, 2, and 3. This is one complete grave for 1 monk. So this is something like a table. It was used for offering sacrifice to this man. Because in China we have a special festival for the dead, Qingming Festival. It's usually in the early spring, in March, the end of March every year. Maybe the beginning of April. So all the monks do the same as the ordinary Chinese. Usually they do that before the festival, not in the festival. Before the festival, to bring something, for example, some bread, some apples, and burn some incense on the table to show their respect, to their ancestors. So this tablet is something about his whole life. And here is the back. So the other side shows a very long story about his whole life. Yeah, for example, when he became a monk, what he did for the temple or for Buddhism, and when he died, at what age, something like this. A long story. So usually this side just tells about his disciples' name, his disciples. That means these persons, they donated money for the building, for the carving of this grave. So no matter you know Chinese or not, you can find something very special. Look at the first row. Yeah. We are all the same.
You're all random, bro. You're all random.
So, so this word is regarded as their generational. Here, this means 11th generation monk of temple. That means this monk is the 10th, 11th, and here 12th. So their generation is different. This one, that means they are the same generation. This one generation lower. Because in the temple we have 70 words. 70 words. In fact, this is also a very interesting point. So since the Jin Dynasty, the monks, this temple, began to use this poem Just as the generation names, all the monks in the temple, one after another. When they finished, from the very beginning again, one generation after another. Now it's the youngest generation in the temple, maybe the 34th generation monk. But maybe they are older than the abbot. So generation means nothing in the temple. Would you like to see the newest one? There's a door in the front of the pagoda, but the door is damaged. But nothing inside. The ashes will put underneath, inside the crypt. That's only for decoration.